Hello, and welcome to Lullaby Dreamland, where stories come to life and hearts find peace. Somewhere high in the misty mountains, friendship and warmth come together in a tale that will melt your heart. Get cozy, take a deep breath, and let's step into a story where even the coldest nights can stop a bond from forming. Let's begin our story. Once upon a time, high in the misty mountains, where the wind howled through towering pines, and the stars glittered like scattered diamonds, a small wooden cabin stood nestled between the cliffs. In that cabin lived a kind-hearted man named Elias and his beloved dog, Mochi. Mochi was a tiny, fluffy ball of energy, a golden-furred pup with bright, curious eyes, and a tail that wagged like a hummingbird wings. He was mischievous, playful, and always full of love. But more than anything, he was Elias's best friend. Together, they explored the wilderness, ran through endless fields of wild flowers, and listened to the soft whispers of the mountain streams. Life was simple and life was good. But the winters in the mountains were harsh. One particularly cold night, as the wind howled like a restless spirit, Elias sat by the fire, staring into the flames, deep in thought.
Yeah, I definitely need a bigger dog,
he finally muttered.
one who can help protect the cabin. And you, Mochi?
Mochi tittled his head, his tiny ears perking up. He didn't understand what Elias meant. Protect? From what? Wasn't their home already perfect? A week later, Elias returned from the village with a new companion, Hector. Hector was massive, a beast of a dog with jet black fur, piercing golden eyes, and muscles like carved stone. His deep growl could make the trees shudder, and his mere presence sent the birds flying from their perches. Mochi, who had always been the king of the house, stared up at Hector and let out a tiny bark. Woof! Hector looked down, unimpressed. Woof! Mochi barked again, this time puffing up his tiny chest. Woof! Hector huffed, his breast warm like the embers of a fire. He turned away, uninterested, but Mochi was not about to be ignored. He ran circles around Hector, barking non-stop. He nipped at Hector's giant paws, tugged on his tail, and even jumped onto his back like a fearless knight climbing a mighty dragon. That was the beginning of the chaos. Within days, the cabin became a battlefield. They knocked over furniture. They shredded pillows. They trampled Elias's garden. One day, Elias returned home to find his cabin in complete ruins. Blankets torn, chairs overturned, and a very guilty-looking Mochi sitting atop a pile of feathers. Hector, standing in a corner, had his ears pulled back in a rare display of regret.
That's it.
Elias threw his hands in the air.
You two need to figure this out, or I swear I'll send you both to live with the mountain wolves.
That night, As the snow fell gently outside, something unexpected happened. Mochi, shivering from the cold, curled up in his usual spot by the fireplace. But the fire had burned low, and his tiny body couldn't keep warm. For the first time, both Mochi and Hector fell silent. Then, without a word, Hector walked over and lay down beside him. His enormous body radiated warmth, and though he was still as intimidating as ever, there was something comforting about him. Mochi hesitated, but then, so slowly, he curled into Hector's side, his tiny head resting against the giant dog's thick fur. From that moment on, everything changed. They began to work together instead of against each other. Mochi, despite his size, was quick and clever. He would alert Hector to trouble, whether it was a lurking fox near the chicken coop or Elias forgetting his tool outside. Hector, strong and fearless, would handle anything Mochi couldn't. He became the protector of the cabin, just as Elias had hoped. But most of all, they became brothers. One summer evening, Elias sat outside, watching as the sun dipped below the mountains. Mochi and Hector sat side by side, watching with him.
My dear boys, you two really made a mess of things at first.
Elias chuckled, scratching them both behind their ears.
But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Mochi let out a happy bark, woo woof, and Hector rumbled a deep, content sigh. Because now they know the truth. Life was better when they had each other. And no matter what the mountains threw their way, they would always face it together. The end. And now, my loves, if you enjoyed this story, tell us in the comments, what was your favorite part? We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening. We hope this story brought a little warmth to your heart. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the magic with someone you love. Until next time, sweet dreams from Lullaby Dreamland. Goodbye, guys.